Hi, welcome to People in the News. I'm Paula Zahn. Lisa Marie Presley. You know the name. You certainly know her father, and you're probably familiar with at least a few of her more soap opera moments. Michael Jackson, Nicolas Cage. But do you know of Presley's life beyond the tabloid rumors, beyond the enormous legacy of the king? Well, as we remember Elvis this weekend on the 26th anniversary of his death, a look at his only daughter, who's now making music on her own. Kira Phillips has our profile.
Rock and roll music, if you like it, if you feel it, you can't help but move to it. That's what happens to me. I can't help it.
With a curl of the lip and a twitch of the hip, Lisa Marie Presley has finally entered the building.
DNA rules the planet. And it's undeniable when you look at her perform or listen to her sing.
It's Elvis's face on that body.
Her eyes and her mouth are him.
It's the oddest thing.
Famous since the moment she was born, for 35 years we watched, we read, we thought we knew everything there was to know about Elvis Presley's only child.
The first thing people think about when you mention Lisa Marie is she's Elvis's daughter. The second thing they say is she was married to Michael Jackson, right? That was weird.
This is a This past April, rock's royal offspring decided it was now or never. And with feet planted firmly in her rock and roll roots, she released her first album, To Whom It May Concern. With its arrival, Lisa Marie Presley, Billboard ingenue, claimed the spotlight for the first time on her own.
I never spoke. You know, I didn't talk for 34 years. I mean, a couple times, but it wasn't like I was out there. So they sort of had the opportunity to develop an image for me. There wasn't me. So that's sort of what I've been realizing more and more when I speak to people, when I talk, when I do interviews. They're like, wow, you know, it's not like that.
Debuting at number 5 and selling 600,000 to date, the album has pleasantly surprised suspicious minds. And with scorchingly honest content, the 11-track self-penned disc provides a rare snapshot of Memphis, her father, and the men she's loved and lost.
What she's saying is, look, I've been an object of public speculation since I was born. Maybe you think you know me, this is who I am. Whoever you are, if you're concerned, come on in.
To know who she is, we open in Las Vegas. The date, May 1st, 1967. The state of the world, abuzz.
Elvis Presley weds Priscilla Ann Bolo, and one of America's richest teenage singing idols promises to love, honor, and obey. Why did the pelvis desert bachelorhood? Said he, it's about time.
And exactly 9 months to the day, on February 1st, 1968, at the Baptist Hospital in Memphis, the king's daughter was born.
She was the first grandchild, and of course Elvis was the typical father. You know, just doting and excited and showing her off.
With iconic parents, she began her life behind the famed walls of Graceland. The Presley's lifestyle was extravagant, and Elvis spared no expense on the little heiress.
Elvis adored Lisa Marie and lived for her. I mean, he would do such sweet things.
You know, she would show up in diamonds and mink coats. Her father flew her to Idaho once so she could see snow. Going to Vegas, you know, having like a little slot machine in the hotel room. And even room service. Staying in a hotel and having room service could be a lot of fun when you were with Elvis Presley.
Not surprising, she loved to watch her daddy perform.
Now, show my little daughter, Lisa. Look at her jump up.
And he loved to listen to his little girl sing.
He caught me, actually, one time doing that through the crack of the door. I remember, and I was so embarrassed. Oh, God, I wanted to die. But, yeah, it was in his bathroom, it was his mirror and his thing, and I was with the thing, yeah.
But by 1972, endless tours and his rock and roll lifestyle had gotten in the way of marriage. Following a year-long separation and a torrent of media speculation, Priscilla filed for divorce. In the coming years, a nomadic Lisa Marie would split her time between Beverly Hills and her father's beloved Memphis.
You know, mostly it was breaks. It was very inconsistent. Sometimes a car would show up to pick me up at school, and I wasn't ready for it because he just sent for me.
As time went by, returning to California became increasingly difficult.
Well, you know, Elvis and Priscilla were two very different types of parents. Elvis was, you know, laissez-faire, hey, baby, go have a good time. And Priscilla was really like the commandant.
Unfortunately, Priscilla had to be the bad guy for quite a few years, but somebody had to be.
It surely wasn't going to be Elvis.
And it certainly wasn't going to be Elvis's new girlfriend, Linda Thompson. Befriending the youngster, their friendship would span some 30 years.
I met Lisa when she was 4.5. I never had a problem with Lisa. Never like, you know, you're not my mom, I don't have to do what you say. You know, I kind of played along with her because I was kind of a kid too. It was carte blanche. She could go and drive her little golf carts. She could eat when she wanted to eat. She went to sleep when she wanted to sleep. Priscilla would sometimes call and say, make sure Lisa does this, make sure she brushes her teeth. Would you tell Elvis to call me when he wakes up?
Sleep all day, party all night. By 1976, those were the rules of Graceland. And as tabloids followed his every move and paparazzi sprung from every corner, the 8-year-old watched quietly as her father's health declined. Often, she sat outside the king's bedroom door, pouring thoughts into journals, scribbling poems onto scraps of paper, waiting for Elvis to stir.
Lisa was always writing, always writing. They were so deep for such a young child. The things that she wrote, you could tell that she kind of thought things differently.
Coming up, Lights Out, a grim discovery on August 16th, 1977.
This little 9-year-old girl called me long distance and, you know, in a breathless tone told me that she had just found out that her father died.
Lisa Marie has grown up hearing stories about her father. I mean, she couldn't escape it even as a kid. You know, there was always sort of tabloid reports about his wild life and his eating and the drugs. And, you know, I think one of the songs on her album, she really uses to sort of say, if everybody saw this, you know, why didn't anyone say it? It's like nobody noticed.
Elvis was there first, and he paid the price for it. He lived, in the end, a very lonely, isolated life, cut off from the world by his fame. By all accounts, he was a person who wanted a more simple kind of life than that. It's not what the world and his talent gave him.
By 1977, 9-year-old Lisa Marie Presley was living two lives, one of discipline in her mother's California, one of indulgence in her father's Tennessee. Increasingly, however, she was noticing a change in Elvis and the Memphis fortress he had created.
You know, when they split up, everything went kind of wacky, especially at Graceland, because that's when Elvis started really partying. And, you know, there were a whole bunch of girls over. She saw a lot of bad stuff. I mean, she saw a lot of fast living in that house as a little girl.
Under the watchful eye of her mother, Priscilla, visits became less frequent.
Priscilla knew what was going on as far as, I mean, she lived that life as well. And so for a little girl, she did have quite a few concerns.
Elvis's decline had been marked with ballooning weight and an addiction to prescription medication. But no one was prepared for what happened next. The date was August 16th, 1977. The shocking news was broadcast around the world.
Good evening. Elvis Presley died today. He was 42. Apparently it was a heart attack. He was found at his home in Memphis, not breathing.
This little 9-year-old girl called me long distance. I was in Los Angeles and, you know, in a breathless tone told me that she had just found out that her father died. Well, Lisa was there and saw all the commotion.
And she pretty much got glimpses of her father, you know, being taken out of the house in the MLS.
Please don't push or shove. Don't push or shove back here, please. Don't push or
By the thousands, fans flocked to Graceland, and within 24 hours, the White Mansion was open to the public.